Hello, true crime fans, and welcome to Behind the Yellow Tape. Today, we're diving into a genuinely disturbing story that serves as a chilling example of how quickly and completely a charismatic, manipulative person can take over the lives of bright young adults. We're talking about Larry Ray and the cult he built, starting right on the campus of Sarah Lawrence College. The timeline here is crucial. The story really kicks off around 2010. Larry Ray, a man with a murky past, including time in prison and a history of odd business ventures, moves into the dorm room of his daughter Talia at Sarah Lawrence College. Now, that in itself is strange, but the students quickly gravitated towards him. Ray wasn't just a dad hanging out, he was this larger than life figure. He'd stay up late, hours into the night, sharing stories about his supposedly glamorous and powerful life, claiming connections to the CIA, the mob, high level political figures, and huge sums of money. And this is where the psychological manipulation began. He started what he called therapy sessions. He'd single out individual students, isolating them from their friends and family, and convince them that their life problems, their depression, their anxiety, their academic struggles were all caused by some deep hidden trauma. He didn't just suggest the trauma, he implanted false memories. He accused their parents, their friends, and their partners of poisoning them, of stealing from them, of abusing them. It became the only source of truth, the only person who understood the real reality. As his influence grew, several of these students moved into a flat with him in Manhattan, and this is where the control became absolute and terrifying. Ray convinced the group that they collectively owed him a massive, impossible to pay debt, a debt he calculated in the hundreds of thousands of dollars for the damage they had caused him and his property due to the evil influences he claimed they carried. To pay this fabricated debt, he forced them into a life of servitude and abuse. He coerced several of the young women into prostitution, pimping them out and taking all the money. He engaged in horrific physical and sexual abuse, filming many of these assaults to maintain control through blackmail. The fear was so profound that they would turn on each other, constantly spying and reporting back to Ray, becoming instruments of his terror. For years this went on, right in plain sight in New York City. The students, now young adults, were completely broken down, financially ruined and psychologically captive. They were working multiple jobs to pay his debt, suffering unspeakable abuse and living under his total domination. Fortunately, the nightmare did eventually end. In 2020, Ray was finally arrested. In early 2023, he was sentenced to 60 years in federal prison for racketeering, sex trafficking, forced labour, and extortion. The judge's comments at sentencing highlighted the depravity of his crimes, recognising the lasting, devastating impact on the victims. The story of Larry Ray and the Sarah Lawrence victims is a cautionary tale about coercive control and vulnerability. It shows us how intelligence and education offer no shield against a master manipulator. It's a reminder of the power of isolation and the importance of checking in with the people you care about, especially when they suddenly seem distant or have a new, all-consuming influence in their lives. Thank you for listening today, and remember, stay behind the yellow tape.